up, what's happening? Big K Beezy. We hit the top real quick, you heard me. So again, another story I'm late on, but I thought I should talk about it. We've seen the back and forth between DJ Akademiks and Ebro for years upon years, but then a new person entered the mix. We had Mero, as you know, Akademiks critiqued him. Of course, the whole Hot 97 thing with Ebro and them leaving, Ebro starting his show with Laura and Rosenberg doing their own thing, and then the stuff with Hot 97, him thinking they fired him because of political views, this, that, and the third, whatever the hell was going on. So basically, him and Akademiks have been having a back and forth. I don't think at one point I think they got along, but at some point they just didn't, and they've been having a lot of back and forths. Well, Mero basically trashes Akademiks for his attacks against Hot 97. It gets to the point I do look at Akademiks, not that he's sensitive, but I feel like certain things. And again, I get Ak has built up this persona of he's just going to say it with his chest. He's never going back down. But it gets to the point is that, don't you get tired of having back and forth with niggas? Like, I got to look at him like, don't you get tired of having back and forth with niggas? At some point, I was like, bro, these niggas don't exist in my ecosystem. Like, hey, y'all stay over there. What y'all saying, that's cute. If you say something outrageous, I will address you as such. But at some point, it's like, I ain't even trying to give energy to him, man. Like, I'm tired. You hear me? And what Jay-Z said, hey, the roots remember even though the trees pretend. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to use that for a picture. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to use that for a picture. But anyways, DJ Akademiks has been clouding Hot 97, Ebro, Darden, Peter Rosenberg, and Mero for a long time. But didn't he have issues with Desus and when Mero was with Desus, and I think they had issues beforehand as well, so that's a whole nother thing. But especially after Mero took over. The kid Mero is enjoying his new position as the morning host of Hot 97's morning programming. But this new role hasn't eliminated his previous beefs. He has been feuding with DJ Akademiks for about a decade now, and Mero decided to weigh in on Ak's attacks against Ebro, Peter Rosenberg, and the radio station as a whole. The commentator goes over why he thinks Ebro and Rosenberg got fired. For those unaware, after the firing of Ebro in the morning, Mero picked up their morning slot. Ak thinks that they couldn't advance with the times in the hip-hop game, claiming they try to pick their own stars rather than fans. He also clowned their ratings in comparison to digital streaming markets. However, DJ Akademiks took aim at Mero, calling him a DEI hire, and that's even worse than Ebro and Rosenberg when it comes to ratings and talent. He thinks Mero will be out soon, and the new radio host clapped back at him on Twitter. I don't know how Livingston got fetal alcohol syndrome as an adult. Yeah, definitely not talking to new artists at Hot 97, not at all, he wrote. Mero included a link to his recent Hot 97 interview with Xavier So Based. Livy is a D-writer that needs this media guy gossip-ish to survive, he continued. He can't make anything, he can't have an original thought. Effing fat dork. For those unaware, DJ Akademiks and Mero beef goes back to Desus and Mero. That's what I literally said. I'm like, oh yeah, these niggas had beef before, where the two called him a loser and a negative influence in hip-hop culture. I will say this, Ak always remembers these beefs. You know what I'm saying? That was the crazy part when this nigga was talking. Apparently Drake was talking to him and he said, yo, I wish you and Maul would get along. And that nigga called him Maul. He stopped calling him Mealy Maul. That's the first time I heard that nigga call him Maul. I was like, wow. Nigga, hell has frozen over. When there's a nigga you love that says that, I was like, wow. Akademiks retorted, and since then, he and Mero have been going at each other every now and again. This Hot 97 shakeup just gave Ak more ammunition, considering DJ Akademiks' beef with Ebro and Rosenberg. But the streamer also posited that he won't look for a back and forth with Mero, so we doubt he will respond here. Still, it probably won't be long before one of them attacks the other again, whether unprovoked or as delayed responses. I ain't gonna lie, Ak, respectfully, again, I understand you don't like niggas talking ill of you or disrespecting your name, and that's perfectly fine. Nobody likes to hear that. I'm not even here for that, but at some point you do gotta sit down and look at yourself and say, why am I doing this? I don't even need to do this. I feel like everybody as people, we gotta sit down and look at ourselves like, nigga, we don't even got to do this. And I feel like that's what Ak really has to do. Yes, it's entertaining. We like this nigga screaming. We like the Hennessy and the Le Cobalt and he's sipping and he's doing this and that and the third. Yeah, we appreciate all that. But at some point, we do got to sit there and be like, yo, Ak, you doing too much. You a little bit too hot out here. You doing a little too much. Just go sit down. You don't need to engage with everything. Now, some things that are crazy, yes, I could see you being combative and talking about, but certain things you just got. Again, it's easier said than done, but you might just gotta let that shit go. It's just not that important, in my opinion. But again, we shall see how this transpires. Besides that, what do y'all think? You already know what it is. Friendly Neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Deadweiler doing this thing. My name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, and hype you. Trying to hear a little bit more though. But besides all that, you already know what it is. It's your Friendly Neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. Oh, I already said that. Sorry, I'm stupid. I'm gone. Slime soon. Peace, y'all, gang. Aye.